So what I want to know though, now that you've worked with somebody, you built them up to the pathway where they find their goal, what happens behind the scene once a buyer goes under contract? So like who's involved and what are the key milestones?
So when we go under contract with a client, first thing is congratulations. It's a big milestone. It's exciting, but it's a cautious excitement because there's a lot that needs to happen. I don't want to say there's a lot that can go wrong, but there is. The goal here though is to move forward methodically. So what happens? Okay, from a lender's perspective, my team now takes the purchase contract, we review everything, understand what that contract looks for. We'll double check. If it's been many weeks or months even since the pre-approval was done, we may have to refresh some documents from the borrower, typically updated pay stubs, bank statements, everything else usually acceptable. We then will go ahead and issue the loan disclosures. I'll have a meeting with the borrower just to recap all the numbers based on the contracted sales price, what their down payment is going to be. We make a decision as to whether we're going to lock that interest rate and at what program we're using. Once all that's confirmed, we memorialize that by issuing the loan disclosures. The loan disclosures is the first set of official documents that the borrower is going to receive and sign, and it gives us permission to begin the processing and underwriting of that. And then usually within the first day or so, we're going to go ahead and request the appraisal, have the appraiser contact the realtors to go in and start that process, because there's usually a clock tied to that, anywhere from 12 to 17 days or something like that with appraisals. So we want to get that part moving forward. And then if we have everything we need from the borrower, we go into what I call the quiet period. I really tell the borrower, say, okay, listen, you're done with me. Your realtor's going to keep you busy because you guys are doing home inspections and all that. We're in that first week of the transaction. But then we kind of go into the quiet period until the file comes back to me from underwriting. And then when the file comes back from underwriting, I'll take a look at what the conditions list are and whether or not there's any questions that we have from the borrower or things that we need. For example, typically it's like getting the insurance in place on the property, and maybe there's a question about the borrower's employment or something. We'll clean that up, and then we send that back in for the final review. And again, typically the process is based on a 30-day timeline. We can do things in half that. We can do things as quickly as maybe 2 weeks. But those are rare circumstances. In fact, most sellers aren't even ready to move that fast. So it's built on a 30-day timeline, but it can be squeezed down if we have to. And then there are occasions where somebody needs an extended timeline. Maybe I've done escrows that are 60 and 90-day escrows because maybe the seller has to coordinate something. Maybe they're building a new house or whatever, and we'll work through that. So the timeline is based on 30 days. Everybody has a very distinct process. My whole team knows exactly what we're doing. My assistant, Kenny, will be coordinating directly with the borrower regarding documentation and things that we need along the way. And that's basically it. I just kind of lead them to the next step. So, and then we celebrate the closing.
Yes, yeah.